What up? What up? What up? So, how's it going, guys? This war is an absolute disaster. It's a disaster. This guy is begging people to help him open the Strait of Hormuz. They didn't plan on this war having that type of, them closing the straits and then the strait having that type of effect on the world economy. But, well, it's not that they didn't plan, they knew it. The people, his advisors knew this, but they didn't pay attention to him. And so now what we have is billions of dollars torched, 13 dead soldiers, and an absolute mess here in the States with the economy. You know, I mean, and now you have MAGA's brains broken because of the price of gas and the fact that he 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 um he campaigned on no more new wars. And what did he do? Remember when he was complaining that we tore up and destroyed a whole bunch of military equipment that was dead and outdated, and he said that we wasted 285 million dollars or something. I don't know, something like that, on that equipment. What now? What now? Think about the logistics of this. How much money are we spending? How much equipment are we torching? And it's like he just moves from one clusterfuck to another. He actually thought that people that he's been trashing for 2 years, NATO and trying to fracture it, that they were going to help him. He actually thought that they were going to help him with the Strait of Hormuz. On the contrary, what this has done, it's galvanized the people in Iran to with the Ayatollah and his regime. If anything, he made that regime stronger because, you know, you go in there and you kill their people. You kill one of their kids. This motherfucker's officially a baby killer. He bombed a school full of kids and killed them. I mean, just think about it. Think about it. Just say you have an 8-year-old or something like that, and you send him to school, and he walks off with his little lunch pail and shit like that, and that's the last time you see him. It's horrifying. I don't care who it is. I don't care if those if that government is a bunch of fucking scumbags, bro. You don't do that to little kids. That shit was actually by design. You know that, right? Yeah. Remember how this fucking drunken pile of shit, what's his name? Hegseth says, now we have no constraints. We don't play by the rules anymore. No? How in the hell do you go and hit one of those fucking schools, man? And they said, no, it was a mistake. A mistake? A mistake? Are you kidding? Seriously? A mistake? That's it's horrifying. It's horrifying, And just think that some guy was doing some math the other day, and he said that one day, what we spend in one day in that war, right? We could feed every single kid in the United States of America a school lunch for the rest of the year. Where are our priorities? Whatever happened to America first? No. No, this motherfucker's being run by Israel, right? And what this guy had thoughts of grandeur and shit, right? Because he thinks, remember right before this war started, you had them really pushing the fact that they were going to make Gaza some kind of Riviera of the Middle East, and that they actually had plans and buildings laid out, that they were going to build to make the, and Stinky, he's always said, this is one thing he's always said, right? That they will take the oil. He wanted to take the oil. And then you have to ask yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're going to go over there and take, we went into Iraq and it was a fucking quagmire, right? But this place, Iran, they have a better military, right? And they have like 90 million people or some shit there. And this asshole wants to send 5,000 Marines over there. They're going to get fucking slaughtered. They're going to get slaughtered. They're waiting for them, But he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Look at what happened. Look what happened when, they asked him a few times about the dead soldiers. And he can't bring himself, there's no words in that drug-addled noggin of his, right, that he can muster, right, to say how bad he feels for these kids that died for no reason whatsoever. Why? Because Netanyahu told him to go fight? Yeah, I heard. Hey, John, I heard that BB might be dead, but now I don't. I saw that video of him at the coffee shop, and with AI these days, it is so hard to tell whether that's whether that's real or not. They're getting real good with that AI. But yeah, no, you would think though that during in wartime, because they're really in fucking war. We're just there fucking as pawns, but they're really in war over there. You would think that guy would be on the airways all the time. You don't see him. Oh well, if he's fucking dead, fuck him. All right, he's a fucking war criminal. Okay, yeah. And another thing, who do you think this comes up benefiting? Of course, Russia. That's right, Russia. Now they lifted sanctions they lifted their sanctions, and they're letting this guy sell his oil, right? And now what's going on is he's making billions of dollars a day to fund his war against Zelensky, right? And then Zelensky's sitting here saying, "No, we'll help you with interceptors. We'll help you with this. We'll help you with that." Man, Zelensky needs to nut up and say, what he needs to do is just give it up. Just give it up because Trump is not going to help him. Period. And just go with the allies he has over there in Europe, and let these motherfuckers get their asses kicked with these drones. These drones are not stationary. What America has is stationary targets, and these drones are not stationary. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you are the aggressor and you go somewhere else. You're not the home team, and you go somewhere else and try to kick ass and take names. No? Why do you think NATO doesn't want to have anything to do with opening the Strait of Hormuz? Because they are supposed to defend, and you have this guy out there continuing to trash them, saying that, okay, so we're going to remember that you didn't help us. Bro, you're the aggressor. You have bad intentions. We already knocked somebody out like you, all right? Am I right or wrong? To be honest with you, per capita, Canada lost more for us during the war after 9/11 per capita than we did. That's right. Yeah. And countries would be more than happy to come to our defense if we got attacked, right? But we're the ones doing the attacking, so why do you want to? Why do you? This guy? It all boils down to this idiot Project 2025, where he thinks that he's going to. And you heard Keg Breath, that fucking. And by the way, he's still down here hooking with hookers and booze. He's still down here. I know that for a fact. I have people that I know in the clubs around here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and every once in a while he'll do a hit of as a presser on a bender, right? Yeah, because he's still getting fucked up. Yeah, but you have these guys that they're fucking insane. Project 2025. And he said it. Keg Breath himself said that the Western Hemisphere is for us, right? AKA we want to own Canada, aka we want to own all these states, all these places in South America. We want to own Greenland. That's this. This is Project 2025. And you have that idiot Brandon Carr. That guy saying that you're gonna get your license pulled if you promote fake news. Well, what's he waiting for? Why doesn't he do Fox? Didn't Fox get sued and have to settle for fake news because of the big lie? Yeah. 780 to the tune of $787 million, bro. That's fucking $750 million for what they did to Dominion and all the vote and all the voting systems here. You know? And it's not like they learned their lesson. Hey, you remember when the Trump phones were started to be a thing, and what did they do on their airwaves? They let that Uday and Kusei, Eric and that fucking Donnie No-Chin come out and promote the hell out of those phones for free. I like my Trump phone. Said nobody. That was a long time ago, and still nobody's gotten their phones. And you have these investigative reporters that try to call these phone lines, right? And they basically tell them to go fuck themselves. We took your money. What are you gonna do about it? That's right. That's another fucking Russian operation, by the way, in Sunny Isles down there in Miami Beach. Yeah, that's where all those phone calls get routed to. Because these motherfuckers are in it to their eyeballs with the fucking Russians, man. This has all benefited the Russians. Did you know? Remember that guy? I don't know. This was a story. It was pretty big. But being with all the fucking shit that goes on, they shit and then they go over it with a bigger shit and a bigger shit and a bigger shit, right? Remember that guy that they arrested? It was a Russian spy. And he was making up stories about Joe Biden being compromised before the election. Yeah, before the 2020 election. Well, now they want to. This is a fucking Russian spy of misinformation, right? And they have him in jail. And guess Todd Blanche wants to let him out. Another win for Russia. This dude is and all for what? All for what? Because he has pictures. Putin has videotapes of this guy violating little girls. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, seriously. You have these people. They are desperately on Fox and all this. They're desperately trying to sell this war, and they're trying and what they do. They do talking points. They run out excuse after excuse after excuse, a reason after reason after reason after reason for having started this war, right? And none of it's sticking. None of it. They thought they could brainwash their MAGA morons. They've even gone as low as to promote this war like if it's a fucking video game. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? You know, it's not like you fucking you turn on your fucking Xbox, right? And then after you killed a bunch of guys, game over. No. No, no. What are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do now? We have 13 dead soldiers, which he doesn't give a shit about. He's fundraising off of their dead caskets, right? Yeah, yeah. And he can't bring himself to say that he's sorry to the families for what happened, because he's a fucking scumbag. But still, there are actually some people that are flabbergasted about this. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why? He said they're suckers and losers, and he believes that to this day. Remember the guy he used to work with? Was it General Kelly? I think it was. Right? He's flabbergasted because some guy that got fucking obliterated by a fucking roadside bomb, right? Went up to go talk to him, and Trump goes, man, I don't want that guy next to me. He looks bad. Yeah, yeah. That's from that comes from the mouth of a fucking draft dodging prick. Okay? Of a fucking draft dodging prick that's a piece of shit. Okay? All right? All right? That has no respect for fallen soldiers and no respect for this country. None. 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 He uses this. He's used the presidency to fucking enrich himself and to stay out of prison. You know. And I got news for you. This is going to get worse a lot. And you think it's bad now? It's going to get worse before it gets better, because now we're in for the fight of our lives. That fucking SAVE Act, that shit. That is what these Republicans are pegging their hopes on. That's what they're hanging themselves to, because they know they know that they are going to get steamrolled in the midterms if it's a legit election, you know. So I don't know, you know. I don't know, you know. I don't know, you know. We're in for the fight of our lives, but you know. Everywhere you turn, I mean, even the hardcore magas here, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to say down here. Nope, nope. They're eating their words. You know, I remember about a month ago, right? I was talking to this dude. He's a buddy of mine. You know, a buddy of mine. Fucking these rich dudes don't give a shit about anything except their bottom line. You know. And they're like, hey, yeah. I go, let me ask you a question. Name one thing this motherfucker's done to help you, right? And they go, the price of gas. I saw that same motherfucker the other day. I go, how's that working out for you now? Huh? Huh? You stupid motherfucker, you? Yeah, and just think. Trump got a big ass fucking donation down here from the oil companies, right? And to promote fucking fossil fuels, to promote fucking oil, right? Look at the jam that we're in now because of our dependence on oil. Everything. The reason we have all of our troops over there is to defend the fucking oil. Yeah, and you had Biden wanting to promote clean energy, you know, wind turbines, electric cars, you know, giving us subsidies for the electric cars and everything. And now look at what's going on. You know? Hey, now we're paying up the fucking wazoo for gas because we're fucking dependent, stuck on this shit, you know. And it just doesn't, you know. And remember, I played a video the other day where you had one of these fucking hardcore magas saying, "I miss Uncle Joe, I miss him." I was bawling. This fucking dude looked like he's about fucking 5'1". I was bawling. I was bawling with Uncle Joe. Now look, I don't have $5 in my pocket. You fucking idiot. Yeah. You were balling, huh? You were balling. Yeah, man. I mean, name one fucking thing that that guy has done for you, and you can't, and you can't. And here's another thing. Here's another thing that I am really enjoying. I am really enjoying. Fucking Iran decking all of these places. All of these places. They didn't plan on that either. Hey, we didn't think they were gonna fucking hit Qatar. We didn't think they were gonna hit Kuwait. We didn't think they were gonna hit UAE. All of these fucking ragheads tried to buy this guy, right? For protection and for information, right? Yeah, yeah, nah. Yeah, you think you weren't gonna get it, huh? You all got decked. Just yesterday, that Bahrain, forget about it. That shit. Iran made a hole out of that place. And Kuwait, it's raining bombs. It's raining bombs. Help us, Stinky. We gave you money. Yeah, we gave Kushner money. We gave the check. We gave Witkoff the check. The check didn't bounce, did it, Stinky? Help! Yeah. How's that working out for you? Don't you know that? Don't you know that loyalty is a one-way street with this asshole? Yeah. And you actually thought that he was going to help you. Oh no! This is too good. This is too good. And that's FAFO. That's what that is. You fucked around and now you found out. Now you found out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go fight Iran yourselves. Yeah. Right. Them motherfucker Iranians. They go pow. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No. I was watching a video the other day because they will crank out these videos where some guy will just turn on a camera, right, and then just let it rip. He will point the camera towards where Iran is dropping bombs and shit, right? and if you gotta sit there for about an hour and watch it because nothing will happen. Then all of a sudden you hear, and then you hear these motherfuckers go, no, boom! Oh, yeah, and Sticky's over here saying that they decimated their military, they decimated this, they decimated that, but they bomb them every fucking day, right? And what have we gotten out of this? I like that taco meets fafo. But here's another thing. I saw somebody in the comments talking about ballroom. This guy lets it slip once in a while. When he talks about that ballroom, he mentions the hole and how deep it is. It's a bunker. It's a bunker. Because he's afraid. He's afraid. This motherfucker. He has no spine. He's a fucking draft dodger. He's and so he thinks that the day we get attacked, he's going to sit there and live in that bunker. Just in case. I mean, and what I can't figure out is why nobody tells him that he's not long for this world. You see those videos that I drop all the time of him fucking shitting himself and he looks terrible. He looks terrible, and from week to week it gets way worse. Way worse. Every time you see him, right? They're running out of makeup to put on him. His hands have that elephantitis. Ew, that's fucking gross. And then what is this here that neck rot he has? And that's all. Here's the thing. He's going senile. This guy's going full on senile, right? And they're, experimental drugs are just that, experimental, and they're trying to keep him, sane, rational. But it's not, it's getting harder and harder, and they're having to give him higher doses. I told you guys like about fucking 6 months ago, I saw a fucking yak in his neck right here, and I'm like, God damn, they can't find veins because his veins are crystallized, right? His veins are crystallized, so once you do, they die, and then your fucking hand turns purple, right? So they've run out of veins because that's a coward. A coward will not take a shot anywhere else, but here because it doesn't hurt, right? So both hands are rotted. They got that fucking elephant-itis and shit, right? And so now he's got, man, he's in this delusional state. After about 12 o'clock, he goes full delusional till about 6 o'clock. He fucking he falls asleep and shit, and he's a mess, right? So he's telling them, man, this shit's not working. It's not working. I don't understand. I'm all fucked up. I'm in a fog, right? Yeah. So give me more. So they fucking shoot him with more, and it ain't working. It ain't working. The dementia is taking its toll on this asshole, So fuck it. This one guy told me the other day, he goes, hey man, I just want him to stroke out and drop dead on stage. I go, man, so do I. That's why people want him in prison and shit. No, man, no, unless they have a camera in prison of him stroking out, I don't want to see it, bro. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I notice that these people are bending over backwards. So, the cult. The MAGA cult is bending over backwards to try to make an excuse for this guy's war, and it's not working. It's not working. You want to talk about Trump derangement syndrome? That's what that is. When you try to make excuses for this senile, functionally illiterate imbecile, and I know that they call us. They say that we have Trump derangement syndrome. No. Those are observations of how mind-numbingly stupid you and that guy is. The dude's a moron. Always been. I remember Lawrence O'Donnell says, how can we tell if this guy has dementia if he's always been stupid? It's funny, but it's true, It's true. It's true. This guy's a moron. They have video clips of him, right, from like 1980 or something like that, with him trying to read. He never read, And he always points to his brain and says, "I'm smart. I went to Wharton," right? Motherfucker. They gave you your degree at VSU. What is VSU? Vegetative State University. That's right. Hey, this dude's a fucking idiot, bro. Always been. And now he's senile and demented. And you all voted for this fucking stupid idiot again, right? But it begs the question: what does that say about you, right? As a MAGA, that you voted for this sack of shit that constantly shits on you and thinks he thinks that you guys are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet, and he despises you. That's right. Yeah. Stinky despises MAGA because he doesn't think it. He knows that you're stupid. That's a fact. When he's out on the golf course, he tells people the truth. He said, no, Democrats, no. At least they're intelligent. Listen to that. Listen to the way he talks about you. MAGA, they're fucking stupid. Wait a minute. I can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a vote. Yeah, well, that's what an idiot cult is, So, I mean, Think about that. Think about that, man. You got a guy that constantly trashes you, and he said it. I like my poorly educated. The fuck does that mean you, MAGA? Fucking imbeciles. You know. I was I was at this place at this club. I was doing a tournament. I was at this club at night. They called the Funky Buddha, right? It's this place where they make their own beer and shit, right? So we're sitting in the bar. We're sitting at the bar, and there's this dude with a MAGA hat on, and he has it on backwards, and it says Trump was right about everything, right? So this girl walks up to him and says, "Hey man, are you stupid or did your mama make you that way?" And he goes, "Oh man, now you fucking walk around with a dunce cap on, you fucking moron. What did you expect people to call you?" No, and I saw, I saw, I saw. You know what's going on around the streets now? You have at the gas pumps. At the gas pumps, you have that little sign with Stinky pointing at the gas pump saying, "I did that." But that is absolutely true, though. Those stickers are true. Oh man, it's fucking hilarious. How fucking stupid. 77 million people are fucking idiots, man. Idiots. They voted for an onion. He was going to bring the price of gas down. Nope. Bring the price of groceries down. Nope. Remember a long time ago he was going to build a wall? Nope. What? Well, where's our $5,000 Doge check? Nope. Where's our $2,000 tariff check? Nope. It's going to start raining money down anytime soon. Yeah. Yeah. How's that working out? No. No, all the fucking lies this guy said just to stay out of prison. Well, if they were gonna put me in prison, I'd fucking lie my ass off too, But no, fucking Palestinians, we vote for President Trump. He brings peace. Oh shit, that's hilarious. That yeah, I remember during the campaign, they gave that fucking idiot a wooden tablet with a bunch of fucking peace signs on it. The Palestinian, these fucking Indians in Michigan. Thank you, President Trump. You bring peace, none like Genocide Joe. You fuck! How fucking stupid! And then he turns around right after he leaves. Right after he leaves, he turns around and he goes on that fucking Hugh Hewitt and said, "No, Netanyahu should finish it all." What do you mean by that? Wipe it all out. And you still voted for him, you idiots. This, why not laugh? You know what I mean? Why not fucking laugh at this clown, bro? Yeah. I mean, a stroked out senile shit for brains, right? And not to mention a fucking mega bankrupter. Look at what's going on now. Look at I mean, everything is more expensive. Everything. Nothing is going right. Nothing is going right. So what they do? They run an outrage machine, where they do one outrage after the other, and all he does is trash everybody, and look at what he got for trashing people. Now the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and they told him go about it yourself, like you started this war by yourself, you pedo, because that's the Well, Trump is gonna weed out the Epstein class. Yeehaw! Yeah, right. These motherfuckers, they actually believe that, right? They actually believed that he was going to weed out the Epstein class when he was Epstein's best friend. No, best friend. And now, in what little bit of information, even, because there's only been a little bit of information out, a little bit, right? And it's damning to him. There's this information that came out where he's on the phone with Epstein while Epstein is violating a little girl. Yeah, and so he could have what they call that, phone jollies, right? Yeah, that was a thing, and it happened. You know, a disgusting, vile sack of garbage is I mean, the worst of the worst. There's not a crime that guy isn't willing to commit. I mean, we're talking about what he did in the Epstein files and what he did to those children in that school. And look at what as if the Iranian people are going to rally around him after he told them, "I got your back. Go out and protest. Throw yourself out to the streets." How did that work out for them? This is the second coming of this guy right here. That's right. Yeah. Yep. The second coming. And what their plans are. Putin, you take over that side of the world. I want to take over this side of the world. They say the quiet part out loud. That Haig said the dominance, lethality over the Western Hemisphere. You fucking drunken pile of shit. Oh, man. the head of counterterrorism left. One of the motherfuckers named Joe Kent or something like that. A big, and you know what really irritates me about these motherfuckers that quote unquote saw the light, right? Is that they don't blame him for any of these disasters. They always blame his advisors. They always blame anybody but him. But he's the one making the decisions here. Y'all need to own it. He's the one that's causing all of these problems. And let me ask you a question: Who hired the advisors? He did. No, as long as you could keep me on. Yesterday he was at the Kennedy Center, right? And sitting next to him was that idiot Mike Johnson, and then next to him, people didn't see this, right? Pam Bondi. Y'all thought he was gonna fire her? No way. She's the only idiot that's gonna take the heat all the way to prison, because she's in this. She's right next to him, hoping and praying that she'll get some kind of pardon, because she's violated the law. She's violated the law so many times that bitch should rot in jail. Because these people are disgusting. And of course you have to have disgusting people around you willing to do anything, because they're so fucking craven that they see dollar signs like billboards on the side of a fucking school bus. I just think, and no, here's another one. I saw him. I saw Peter Ducey, right? The guy from Fox. He asked Stinky. He goes, "Hey, Stinky, when you think the war's gonna end?" And fucking this guy goes, "Well, I don't know. Maybe soon. Sometime soon." I was horrified. I was horrified by how the way he answered him. But what was even worse was they showed a side angle, right? Like you could see the boom mics and all that shit, right? And then you saw all the people behind, in front of Stinky, right? Asking the questions and stuff. And then in the corner was Stephen Miller, right? Stephen Miller, okay? The shortest, the doofiest looking elf that you could see. AOC was right, man. AOC was right. Well, I knew this too. I knew this too because I had an incident with him. I'm not going to talk about, but anyway, y'all know about it already. I'm not going to talk about it again. So this guy, this guy reaches me about right here, and I'm only like 5'10", 5'11". This motherfucker reaches me like right here. Okay, that is the guy, right? That is the guy that has this place that has destroyed this place. That guy. That guy. Senior advisor. No, senior bootlicker is what that asshole is. What he did with that idiot ICE. That idiot ICE. And speaking of ICE, there was this congressman, right? Because the Democrats have a bill ready to pass that will fund TSA, right? The airports. And the Republicans won't pass it as if they think that they can blame the Democrats for TSA not getting paid. Now, the Democrats wanted a bill, they wanted to pass a bill where you pay TSA, but you don't pay ICE until they negotiate, they take their fucking masks off, right, and stop being fucking Nazis, right? So what does this guy do? What does this guy do? You want to talk about throwing fucking salt on a wound, right? This guy Cornyn. He shows up after the Democratic guy said, no, this guy's going to show up here. And you know what he's going to do? This Democrat guy told him, the Democrat guy says, he's bringing them Whataburger. He's bringing the people from TSA Whataburger. Meantime, they're not getting paid because of him. Okay? Because the Republicans won't pass a bill to pay them. Okay? Yeah, so he brings them Whataburger. Man, I'd take that hamburger and throw it right in his face, man. Are you kidding? So, anyway, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, seriously. Hey, I have a question for this fucking bot. Guess who's not in the Epstein files? Joe Biden. Yeah, no. Your bots, and whoever isn't a bot, forget about it. This is a colossal failure. Colossal failure. Yeah. A failure of epic proportions, right? Yeah. And we're only, a year and something in? This reminds me of his casino. Yeah. You know that when he had those casinos, I know a pit boss, right? That he lives, I want to say like maybe 4 blocks from me, right? He was a pit boss for him back in the day. And he said, hey, Mock, you know what? The casinos lasted a year, but had it not been for Fred, right? These casinos wouldn't have made it 3 months. And I go, well, explain how, why is that? I mean, you would think that a casino, you can't lose. The house always wins, right? Well, yeah, that's if you can do fucking math, right? But he goes, hey, Mark, here's what's going on, right? If regulators come and check your vaults, you have to have a certain amount of money in your vault so you can pay bets, right? And he didn't. And Fred